welcome back. Who will pay the price, or will anyone pay the price for the water catastrophe in Flint, Michigan? Water contaminated with lead after switching to river water, ultimately poisoning people. There is some new information out there that some state officials knew about this water while the people were drinking it. The EPA is now taking charge of water testing there after the agency's administrator for Michigan and 5 other states resigned. Some protesters want Governor Rick Snyder to resign as well because he didn't respond quickly enough to the crisis. The governor saying the state is committed to making sure every Flint resident has clean, safe drinking water and that he will not be stepping down. President Barack Obama has even declared a state of emergency in Flint, opening the door to federal help. But will there be criminal liability for the residents too scared to drink their own water? Let's ask Cary McGehee, who is a part of the legal team involved in a class action suit, and our own CNN legal analyst, Philip Holloway. Good to see both of you. So, Cary, I understand you're representing 4 families in this class action suit. Will there be more? And what are the demands being made in this suit?
Yes, we represent 4 different Flint families in this class action. The class action could potentially open up to hundreds, 100,000 people. The city of Flint has 100,000 plus residents. And so it is framed as a class action. We filed a class action in federal court under the federal constitution based on a state-created danger, separate lawsuit in state court under the state constitution based on a state-created danger, and we've also filed a circuit court action based on gross negligence, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We have heard from over 1,200 people who have contacted us interested in being interviewed in part of this class action, and the number goes up every day.
So I wonder, Cary, is the primary goal, to win a settlement that will help pay for the medical costs of the thousands of people who are now looking at irreversible damage, for many years to come, adults, children? Is that the primary objective?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our objective is to finally get the governor in the state of Michigan to listen to the state or to the city of Flint residents and to get them justice, because they have not received any justice. And we hope through this lawsuit that we will get immediate attention to them, immediate relief in monetary ways to compensate them for their injuries, as well as programs started such as child development programs to help these children who have been poisoned with lead, nutritional programs. So we're seeking not only monetary compensation, but also equitable relief for our clients.
And so I wonder, Philip, looking for justice in this form, recovering costs for health problems for a very long time, is that likely the only kind of justice that people might see? Or might we also be looking at potential criminal charges being filed against those who knew that people were being poisoned, who might have even participated in the poisoning of thousands of people in Flint, Michigan?
Well, Fred, something certainly stinks in Flint, and it's not just the water. This is, at a minimum, very, very bad government, obscenely bad government. Whether or not it rises to the level of a crime remains to be seen. We know that there are parallel investigations mounted by the state attorney general as well as the U.S. Justice Department. The problem is going to be if the government officials who are involved in the decision-making do not completely, 100% own up to anything they've done. Because it's not against the...
Who will willingly do that when you're talking about this kind of state of affairs? I mean, who is going to volunteer that, they may have been complicit or they may have overlooked or ignored certain warnings?
Well, that's the problem, is that they tend to want to minimize. If you're involved in something and you're this grossly negligent, you tend to want to minimize your conduct. So if you make a false statement to a federal investigator or to a grand jury, or you destroy one document, or you hide one email, or you delete a voicemail. We saw some of this kind of conduct going on in the BP oil spill investigation, because it's not like somebody wakes up one day and says, okay, I think it's going to be a good idea to poison the water supply. But the problem is in the cover-up. And, and I hate to use the pun, but it's like what did they know and when did they know it? And by they, I mean everybody and anybody who had any part in the decision-making process of how the water system got changed and what they did or did not do to try to make it safe for the citizens of Flint.
So bottom line, do you think anyone would go to jail, you know, for this crisis? Will anyone have to individually pay a fine if people are unable to sue the state government or localities? Are they able to go after individuals?
They can go after individuals. In criminal cases, it's called restitution. You can't get quite the same amount of monetary damages that you can get in the civil lawsuit or in this case, a class action, which could be a really, really large amount of money. But if somebody is criminally prosecuted, I guarantee you the government will try to get everything they can out of them in terms of restitution. But if one person, Fred, gets caught minimizing this, saying something that's not true, or engaging in any kind of cover-up, even if it's already occurred, there's already some questions that maybe some things have already been done that are in the nature of a cover-up. If that can be proven, people can and probably will go to jail.
And then, Cary, is it your belief that this is going to be an uphill battle? Or do you believe, at least for this class action suit, that you have everything you need in order to have a successful end, successful from your client's point of view?
Well, I think, first of all, the evidence that has been uncovered thus far is extremely compelling, demonstrating governmental misconduct. And I would like to speak to the cover-up issues, because one of the things that we're doing through this lawsuit is tomorrow we are serving a subpoena on the governor of Michigan, demanding that he produce all his email and text messages regarding this particular situation dating back to 2011 when they first started talking about it. And so we're hoping through those emails and text messages that we will be able to prevent any type of cover-up. We also are hoping that perhaps the government takes a different tact in dealing with this class action, not one that would require 6 years of litigation. We're hoping that they come to the table knowing that they created this situation and are prepared to create a settlement fund to try to help these residents immediately. We can't wait.
All right, so a subpoena for the governor as early as tomorrow. Real quickly, Philip, does that raise the stakes at all? Does that change the tone here?
Well, the governor is probably going to try to quash that subpoena because they will try to do everything they can to defend themselves, not only in criminal court, but in civil court. He has stated publicly he's going to release those emails, but the subpoena just puts a lot more pressure on him to make sure that he comes clean if he can't get the subpoena quashed. I bet they're going to try to do that.
All right, Philip Holloway, thanks so much. Cary McGehee, thank you so much to both of you. Appreciate it.